to this. The question is, why she have more motion and why she has more movement than you? There's many different answers to that, but the main answer. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. The main answer to that is she has more movement and more motion than you because you lost who you are as a man. That's first and foremost. She has more motion and movement than you and getting paid more than you is because you are allowing yourself to not mobilize, to not have movement or motion within inside of yourself and your thoughts and your understanding. You allowed yourself to fall off the totem pole so far as that you're not even considered a man. You're not even considered a provider. You're not even considered a protector, an educator, a leader. Why is that? Why is that? Why is the men today of yesterday is not like the men of old? Why is that? And what happened? Why did it take so long? Why why it took so many years and generation to reverse the actual attribute of man, of mankind, of just a man? Why of the men today do not have motion or movement and can't mobilize? These are the questions that each and every man that is going through this need to question his manhood, need to question why he's not motivated, why he doesn't have movement, why he's not mobilizing. That's the question. Hello, hello, how you doing? How you doing? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Why is she have more motion and more movement about herself than you? Hi, hi, assalamu alaikum. It's because men been produced to a little as nothing. So if you've been produced that way by the community and by society and by your own selves, then there is no hope for mankind, for man, for just man. So being that the woman know that, the woman must step up. The woman must take on the role as a man and as a woman. This is what's going on. This is what's going on because the men today is not catching on. They not catching on that they gotta have motion. They gotta have movement. They gotta actually have what? The thought and understanding to mobilize. I'm from the United States. I'm from the United States. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So in order to reverse, in order to keep yourself not to be stagnated, you got to find movement and motion about yourself. This is why she has motion and movement and making more money than you, because she realized that the task that handle, she must handle. This is why she's graduating. This is why she's taking on more jobs. This is why she's taking on more tasks. It's because she realized and understand the assignment that everything is geared for the destruction of a certain man. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm gonna tell you that it's not easy because now there's drugs and alcohol. Now there's this gangster persona life. Now there's becoming a rapper or becoming any other thing other than becoming a man, right? And have emotion and movement about yourself. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. What are you going to do next? And what is your next movement? What is your next movement going to be? Well, my next movement going to be, you know what? I'm going to have motion. I'm going to have movement about myself. This is the things I'm going to do. Men have been produced to really nothing. Your job is not to stand there and look at another man, but it's to what? To mobilize, to move, have motion, find the next treasure. That's your job. That's your job is to get out there in the wilderness, right? In the thick of it, and to find action and movement so you can bring home what? So you can bring home the reward. We've been tricked. We've been bewitched. We've been what? Misguided, misinformed, miseducated as men. This is facts. This is facts. And the reason why I'm pausing like this because I want you to think about the things that I'm saying. I want you to really think about the things that I'm saying to you that is really, really important at the end of the day. If you do not mobilize and you do not have movement and you do not mobilize for yourself and your loved one, you're going to be lost for the rest of your life. And it's going to be very, very difficult and hard for you to climb back up, for you to climb back up that mountain. So this is why she have movement, and this is why she have what? Motion, and this is why she's mobilizing and moving in another direction because she understands the assignment and she understands her task and she understands what is going on with you as a man. This is why she moves on. This is why she's moving on. She's sticking there with you in the thick of it, trying to teach you, trying to hold your hand. Where that you're supposed to be doing that. But it's enough is enough. She's moving past you. While you staying stuck and stagnated and trapping and wasting your life and your opportunity. This is why. And this is all around the world. This is all around the world, beloved. This is all around the world. We have to improve our conditions as men. We have to put motion and movement inside of us so we can get paid. You want to get paid, right? This is why she's leading the force of education. This is why she's graduating. This is why she's coming into the work field. Hard labor. She don't want to do it, but she know that there's something that's going on. There's laziness. There's no movement. There's no motion. She having children by you. This is a wake-up call. This is not to make you feel any type of way. This is actually to get you to get up and realize that you have to get into the fight. You cannot fight if your mind is clouded with smoking weed. You cannot fight if your mind is clouded with boom, 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 boom. You cannot fight if your mind's clouded with alcohol and drugs and crack, cocaine, dope, all of these things. You have to mobilize. You have to get up. You have to get into the fight. You have to get into the thick of it. That's why she's having motion and movement. Because you don't realize it. Not at this time, not at this point. Because you are plagued with these things. And you still want to be the leading force. You're not the leading force. You're not the leading household. So now you want to take it by force. You want to beat it. You want to beat her. You want to do these things because you cannot figure out where did your manhood go. I'm not jacking that. I'm not jacking that. Get up and find your ways and action of what you need to do. That's period, point blank. And start having motion and movement about yourself. And stop looking at the next man. Stop looking at him and look at yourself. You spend all that time talking about the next man. You spend all that time idolizing him. You spend all that time focused on him. You have the time to focus on yourself. If you have all that time to focus on another man, on what he's doing and how he's moving, that lets me know. That lets me know you have the ability to focus on yourself. And that lets her know you have the ability to focus on yourself. And that also shows where you're focused on as a man. You lost who you are. You lost who you are. Find yourself and have motion and movement about yourself. Peace. Peace.